There's a quote I like, and I don't know who said it, but it says, men go fishing all their life, not realising they're not there to catch fish. The whole world has kind of just strayed too far away from the path of like the kind of natural order of things. I get there's a whole point of making life easier, and that's where like automation, everything came from. But I think we were, at the end of the day, there is biologically nothing that separates us from wild animals other than the ability to think. So I don't think that we should be putting ourselves in all these big metal boxes and everything. I think we should be living alongside nature and appreciating the world we have, rather than trying to carve it up for something that we can't ever sustainably make.
Imagine you just ran a sprint in a race, and it's the end of it and your chest is pounding. It's that same feeling, but it's just come out of nowhere. And in that same sense, you're really short of breath and you're trying to get on top of your air again, and you're struggling to control your breathing. It's as though this little worry has been pushed down a huge mountain, and it's just picking up more worry as it goes, and picking up more momentum and more speed as it goes, and it just quickly spirals out of control because something's going wrong. That's what your body and your brain's telling you, but you can't figure out what it is. You just know something is going horrifically wrong. And it's hard once you're exposed to this snowballing in your mind of whatever is worrying you, combined with this physical sensation of your body just being on edge, ready for something to happen. Because it's an internal issue, it's not something that you can escape, but your whole survival mechanism of your brain wants you to escape that. So it gives you a very trapping feeling. It's as though you're being chased by something that can find you no matter where you go. You can keep trying to turn your mind onto something else and distract yourself, but you can't escape this fear. You have to let it wash over you and allow yourself to exist inside the fear rather than running from it and being chased by it.
Boxing is such a useful tool to just get your anger out, like just hitting bags, hitting pads. It's such a useful vent for your frustration, your anger and your emotions. Growing up, I wouldn't have a good outlet of what to do when I was angry. So I do what any teenage boy would do. I'd hit walls, hit chairs. So I feel like that's where boxing comes in. I can hit the bag, I can let the anger completely out, and I have no fear that there's any damage that's going to come off. It's helped me so much. Just feeling I have this sense of calmness now. Almost a different person. When anytime I feel completely angry, I just feel very angry at everything. There's gyms I can go to, there's places I can go where I can just hit the bag for a little bit, work on pads. Give me 10 minutes of a punch bag, throwing combinations. I feel like my day has just been outletted. You can find happiness in just hitting a bag for 10 minutes, hitting pads for 10 minutes and letting your anger out. So it just feels nice to now know what I can do to de-stress.
I heard something once about punch bag is a great instrument for mental health. It's like almost like a therapist, and it's a guidance tool, because going in there and just getting out on the punch bag can just have massive mental health benefits. But I think more than that, you know, going to the boxing gym, meeting new people are also positive. That rubs off on you as well. The discipline of having to be pushed to do the workout or the training, and the focus again of the event in 8 weeks from now all helps you mentally.
Next one we face on the blue team, Yaston Hughes.
I was kind of forced into it. From a very young age, I grew up around musicians through my mum and dad. They're heavily into music. They used to go out to live gigs all the time, so I went with them as a kid. And then for some reason, just always got attracted to the drums. I used to always go and sit behind the drummer, watch him. He'd give me a pair of sticks, and then I'd just go and play on pillows until my parents finally bought me a drum kit, which the neighbours really did not like. And then just got obsessed from there. The one word that comes to mind is satisfying. Like, you know, when you're playing and you're in a bit of flow state and everything's just connecting, all the tones are right, you know, your tempo's right, and it just feels good, you know, it's just a natural feel good, you know, you're hitting the right cymbals at the right time, and, you know, the physical act of hitting things definitely just releases endorphins as it is, you know, the same with working out in the gym, lifting weights, moving your body, you know, it's natural. But yeah, the underlying thing is learning to balance the mental health side of it. Like I said, it's not trying to eradicate any part of it. I think both sides, good and bad, are necessary. You know, I see it as like a heart rate monitor. You know, you've got to have the downs and the ups. If you just stayed at a constant, you flatline, you die. But yeah, just learning to be more positive and turning the negative upside down, sort of glass half full as opposed to glass half empty. But the glass half empty is still necessary.
We've been open here for about 2 years now. Obviously this is the rage room and we run the rage room. We actually have quite a few people who have mental issues that come here. We've actually had a few schools that have come as well. I had an interesting story about a young lad. He comes about every 2 months or so. He did explain a little bit. He said he'd had a lot of mental trauma and abuse during his childhood. He did do a lot of gym, he does a lot of physical activity, but he just felt he couldn't get it out enough. He asked us to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well, he went completely ragey, insane. He was screaming, he was shouting, he was crying. It was quite traumatic to hear, actually. I could hear him outside. Boris over there, he smashed him and really let it out. I've never heard someone actually, like it was almost guttural, really. So once he'd finished, he came out and it was like he was a different person. He was so calm, and he just walked out like a normal person. It was incredible to see the transformation.
You know, every day society makes us be something we're not, and I'm just looking forward to just going back to being like a wild animal like we was meant to, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited.
like a meditation where you're not thinking and it just becomes a physical, absolute physical strength that you're pouring out of your body. So I think once you get it out, it's almost like you're spent. So it's like a meditation where you're not thinking, you go into a place where there's no thoughts, and maybe the not thinking of something gets you away from the trauma that you've had.
There's the case of just hit the bag, just give it like 10 minutes, just vent out your frustration, throw like the angriest punches possible.
You go to that dark place, you run the questions back over in your head and you go, well, did I do a good job? It's like, who cares, man?
The world is just an objective place. It's not got any desire. It just exists. And that's something that we need to spend more time doing as well.